Hello, Marvelites. You are watching Marvel's Pull List. I'm Ryan, a.k.a. Agent Dem.
And I'm Tucker Markus.
And every week, we read all the comics, we pick a couple, we pick a topic, and tell you why we're so hyped. But this is something special.
Today, we have a special bonus episode where we're focusing on horror comics. But it's not just horror. We have monsters. We have some really bloody stuff going on.
Heads being chopped off, gore, intense stuff. Just a warning, we're going to talk about some of this stuff. If you are squeamish or you're a youngster, you're just setting the stage right there. Tucker, what are we talking about first?
All right, first up, we're starting with Carnage #1. This book came out in 2015, and it's got to be one of the scariest books in recent memory. I mean, we start the book with Cletus Cassidy, who is Carnage, in a diner, and then very quickly we learn that he's killed everyone.
Yeah, and he's like sitting there, regular dude, and his Carnage tendrils are just...
Yeah. In response to that, the FBI puts together a task force, and that includes Eddie Brock, who has the toxin symbiote at this point, and John Jameson, the Man-Wolf.
Mike Perkins' art on this series is so good. He does dark and moody and dangerous and scary so well. There's a shot of Carnage getting blasted by sound waves, and he's freaking out, and the symbiote is like trying to escape Cletus's body, and it's really intense, it's really horrifying. And that book really takes a lot of cues from Tomb of Dracula. Tomb of Dracula focused on ya boy Dracula, and this is Tomb of Dracula #10, which featured the first appearance of Blade, the vampire hunter. You know, we think of Blade, he's got the trench coat, he's got the sword, he's got the quips, he's awesome. Here, it's very 70s, I love it, but he rolls in, and he's got the afro, he's got this green, this jacket, he's got a bandolier of steaks, and he the first panel you see him, he comes in, he's like, I'm Blade! He's great, he's ready to throw it down, he just kills 3 vampires off the bat, and he goes toe-to-toe with Dracula. And this series goes on for years. It's so much fun. 70s Marvel horror is the stuff.
Okay, so going from the 1970s to something a little more contemporary, again, we have Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. And look, if you love superheroes and you love seeing them win, this book is really different. Essentially, in this first issue, we see some forces, some nefarious figures taking control of Deadpool's mind. And Deadpool, of course, already has kind of an unhinged thing going on. So if that's harnessed in just the wrong way, some really bad things can happen. This issue just is the tip of the iceberg here. We start with Ben Grimm already out of it.
It's like page 3.
Yeah.
Ben is rocks and dust that Sue is breathing in. She's holding Reed, who's literally melting. His teeth and his skin and bone, his eye, it's all of it. It is burned into my brain. They're talking about they sent the children to the negative zone so they wouldn't get murdered. It is heartbreaking.
Yeah, and issue #1 is kind of like the most tame as we go, because the way that these heroes that we just hold so dear are taken out just becomes more inventive and more gnarly and just disturbing.
So that is a recent book. I want to go back to the 70s for our last book this week, which is Marvel Premiere #28. And this is the Legion of Monsters. Look at them, they're so cool. You got Morbius, living vampire, Man-Thing, Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night. They come together because a giant mountain has just shown up in Los Angeles, come down, and out of the mountain walks this golden dude named Starseed, and he's on his golden horse, and the monsters show up for whatever reason. They get drawn to this space, and Ghost Rider's like, what's going on here? Man-Thing is sort of like, oh, I want to touch this golden man, he seems nice. And anyone who knows fear burns at Man-Thing's touch. So the golden dude freaks out. He's like, whoa, and he starts burning. Then Morbius is like, oh, I'm hungry, and he starts flying in, and he bites him. And then Werewolf by Night, he's just come on guys, he's just a dumb old werewolf. He goes and basically murders the golden horse, and they essentially murder this guy who wanted to give them their heart's desires. You think you're gonna have this big, cool, super team, but they're just a bunch of monsters. It's really fun. Classic 70s Marvel, 1976. It's a hoot. Now, If you want to learn more about these, we're going to dive into these a little bit deeper on Marvel's Pull List, the audio version, plus 2 more bonus books. Check that out on marvel.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And then we'll be back with more of our regular episodes every week. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Tucker.
And this is Marvel,
Your universe.